Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Muhammad Nur Salam. Today my team and I will be presenting on the Petro energy transition energy, focusing on their shift toward a sustainable future and net zero carbon emission by 2050. So, first is about the overview of Petro Energi. Petro Energi is a Malaysian national and gas company established in 1974. It plays a significant role in both the local and global energy market. Recently, it has adapted its business model to address the environmental challenges of the modern world, committing to a green transition and sustainable goals. Historically, Petro Energy business model focused on the oil and gas production. However, the increased global demand for renewable energy, along with a regulatory and ESG pressure, has pushed the company to diversify into renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and hydrogen. The external driver of this transition include global regulatory changes and the shift toward renewable energy. Internally, Petro Energy is pushing for the sustainability and technological innovation to meet Malaysian energy goals. The company is focusing on decarbonization and energy efficiency while investing in the new energy technology like carbon capture and storage, or as known as CCS. However, this transformation comes with several challenges, such as the significant capital investment required for renewable infrastructure, internal resistance to change, and the regulatory uncertainties. Despite this obstacle, Petro Energy is committed to overcome this hurdle through strategic investment and partnership. Petro Energy pathway toward its ambitions. With a strong commitment to technology innovation, the company is focusing on carbon capture, renewable energy integration, and new green mobility solutions. The key to success lies in overcoming financial barriers, managing cultural shift, and staying ahead of evolving regulation. Now, I will pass the presentation to my colleague for next slide. Once they are done, I will return for the conclusion and recommendation in the final slide.
Hi everyone, my name is Ramzi. Today I would like to share about SWOT analysis, stakeholder analysis, and benchmarking with the Shell in terms of stakeholder engagement. This presentation will cover three key areas. Number one, a SWOT analysis to understand our current positioning. Number two, the stakeholder analysis to identify and prioritize our engagements. Number three, a benchmarking study with Shell to learn best practice in stakeholder engagement for energy transition. Let's begin with the SWOT analysis. Okay, let's discuss about the SWOT analysis. As everybody knows, this is the very strategic tools used by Petro Energy to evaluate our strength, our weaknesses, opportunities and threats from the external, relevant to the Petro Energy's energy transition efforts. It helps us to answer two critical questions. What is that? Number one is, are we internally ready for the transition? The question number two, what external risks or trend must be navigated? Understand these dimensions allow us to make informed decisions, prioritize initiative, and allocate resources. Let's discuss about these four factors. Number one is the strength. What is our strength? Basically, we have a strong financial capacity, government alignments, diversified energy products, stakeholder trust. What is our weaknesses? Number one is high transition costs, fossil fuel deficiency, talent gaps in renewable energies, complex regulatory compliance. What opportunity for us out there for the currents? Growth in clean energy nowadays, hydrogen, solar, demand for ESG compliance services, access to climate finance, supportive national global policy. What is our traits? Geopolitical and supply chain risks, market competitions, climate reputation risks, all price volatility. So these very four factors that affects on our decision making for this transformation. Another critical analysis need to be done by Petro Energy is stakeholder analysis. Petro Energy, like the other oil and gas companies, is facing growing pressure for this transformation. This energy transformation involves not only internal change, but also effective engagement with a wide range of external stakeholders. Systematically identify and prioritize these stakeholders, we apply the salience model, which assess stakeholder based on their attributes, power, legitimacy, and agency. Salient model is a framework to classifying Petro Energy's stakeholder based on attributes. Will give very good info to the strategy manager to give prioritize based on this category. Based on salient models, we categorize our stakeholder to the three groups. The first group is definitive stakeholder. This kind of the stakeholder possesses all the three attributes, which is power, urgency, or legitimacy. This is the most highest priority that Petro Energy need to focus and give the highest priority. Number two is the expectant stakeholders. This stakeholder category possesses two of the three attributes, which is under category dominance, dangerous, and dependence. So this is the next priority after the definitive stakeholders. Now category number three is the latent stakeholders. This latent stakeholder only possesses only one from the three attributes. This is the category dominance, discretionary, depending. This is the most lowest priority that Petro Energy need to focus to. Based on salient model, we divide our stakeholder into three main groups, which is definitive, expectant, and latent category. So federal governments and investors become the definitive stakeholders because they have a power, legitimacy, and agency. So we need to have a special strategy to tackle this kind of stakeholder. For example, policy alignments, sustainable finances, ESG reportings. For the state governments, business fund JV is categorized under expectant stakeholders. They have a power and legitimacy. So this kind of categories, we need to have also strategy, but less important than definitive. We need to have a local partnership, joint venture in the technology, especially in the CCS, carbon capture, hydrogen, and we need to have a climate goals and KPI. Another stakeholder that fall under expectant stakeholder is employees and our talents. So we need to have a special focus and strategy to tackle this kind of category. So normally we do like a upskilling, training in renewable energies, and we need to have internal mobility between the groups. And other things is about we need to tackle the communities and NGOs. So for this one, maybe you can have a develop social impact program. For the customer, we need to have a very clear strategy, integrated energy solution, always have a communication with them. The third category is under latent stakeholders. This is an international body that involved in the energy transition, oil and gas. For example, we can deal with the UNFCCC, FRS global standard. So we need to comply with the requirement. So this is under latent category that involved for the category attributes legitimacy. To enhance Petro Energy stakeholder engagement strategy, we have conducted a benchmarking study with Shell, a global leader in energy transition planning. Shell's approach to stakeholder inclusivity, ESG transparency, and innovation partnership offer very practical insight. The goal is to identify what Petro Energy can adopt to strengthen our own transition roadmap and gain public trust. So what we can learn from Shell? Number one is broaden ESG framework adoption. For example, we need to incorporate the GRI and SSB and seek external ESG assurance. Number two, disclose diversity, equity, and inclusion DEI target. So we need to have our own KPI and present in our sustainability reports. Green procurement integrations is a good strategy. We need to require ESG reporting and decarbonization goal from our supplier. Number four, we need to formalize stakeholder dialogue, always publish public advocacy reports, and participate in the global policy space. So hopefully from this benchmarking study, we can improve further in our engagement strategy with our all stakeholders. That's all from my side. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum, I am Nur Amira. I will present the diagnostic tools that used in Petro Energy, which is 7S framework. So now, I'm going to explore the McKinsey 7S framework, a powerful tool for understanding and managing organization change. Developed by McKinsey & Company in the late 1970s, this framework emphasized the interconnectedness of 7 key elements within an organization. First is strategy, the plan for how to compete successfully and achieve goals. Second, structure, the organization hierarchy and how its various parts are arranged. System, the daily activities and procedure that staff use to get the job done. Shared values, the core belief and culture that guide behavior within the organization. Style, the leadership approach and organizational culture. Staff, the employees and their capabilities, skill and attitude. And the last one is skill, the competency and abilities for an organization's employees. By assessing this element, organization can identify areas for improvement and ensure alignment for enhanced performance. Okay, let's see the implementation of McKinsey 7S framework. For strategy, Petro Energy has redefined its corporate strategy to align with global climate goals, committing to net zero carbon emission by 2050. The strategy includes diversifying into renewable energy, hydrogen, carbon capture, utilization and storage (CCUS), and low carbon fuels. This is reflected in investment through its subsidiaries such as Gentari, which focuses on clean energy and green mobility solutions. Additionally, Petro Energy is integrating sustainability into its core business decisions, not just a compliance measure, but as a value creation lever. It's also aligning its capital allocation and R&D funding towards low-emission projects and reshaping its global portfolio to reduce carbon-intensive assets. Second is structure. To support its strategy, Petro Energy has reshaped its organization structure. It has established dedicated unit and subsidiaries focused especially on the energy transition. These include the Carbon Management Unit (CMU) and Petro New Energy, which oversee the development of clean technology and carbon reduction initiative. These entities operate across upstream, downstream, and new energy diversities during ensuring a cross-functional approach. The company has also introduced enterprise-level governance for ESG and climate risk, integrating sustainability into decision-making process at the board and executive level. Third is system. Petro Energy has adopted and integrated advanced digital system and diagnostic technology to monitor emission, optimize energy use, and reduce operational waste. So next, for the 7S, is shared values. The culture core of Petro Energy has evolved to emphasize sustainability, resilience, and innovation. These shared values are now embedded in the company's purpose, a progressive energy and solution partner enriching life for a sustainability future. Sustainability is not treated as a separate goal, but as a guiding principle across all levels, from project execution to stakeholder engagement. This is also a growing internal narrative around responsible energy stewardship, which employees encouraged to innovate towards cleaner, safer, and more efficient operations. Next is Q. Recognizing the need for new capabilities, Petro Energy is actively investing in the upskilling and reskilling for its workforce. Employees are being trained in renewable energy technologies, carbon accounting, AI and analytics, and climate risk assessment. The company has also launched partnership with academic institutions and digital training platform to strengthen internal expertise. This ensures Petro Energy can internally support its transition without over-relying on external consultants or vendors. Next is style. The leadership style within Petro Energy has shifted from traditional top-down management to a more agile, collaborative, and innovation-driven approach. Senior leaders are promoting cross-functional collaboration to break silo and accelerate energy transition initiatives. This includes fostering a fail fast, learn fast culture that encourages experimentation with emerging technology such as hydrogen, ammonia, and digital decarbonization tools. Leaders are also increasingly seen as sustainability champions, ensuring that climate goals are visible, measurable, and prioritized across the organization. And the last one is staff. Petro Energy is reshaping its workforce by attracting new talent with expertise in green energy, climate science, and digital innovation, while also training existing staff. Initiatives like graduate program and mid-career transition are being tailored to align the energy transition needs. The company is become more diverse and its hiring to include skills outside traditional oil and gas, such as environmental science, system thinking, and software development. This shift ensures Petro Energy has the human capital needed to scale up low carbon operation and lead the future energy market. So, the conclusions, the McKinsey 7S framework reveals that Petro Energy's success in transitioning to a low carbon future hinge not just on the technological innovation, but on how it's well aligned strategy, structure, system, people, and culture. Each of the 7 elements is being re-engineered to support a cleaner, more resilient business model. This holistic transformation is what enables Petro Energy to lead the energy transition in a way that is both strategically sound and organizationally sustainable.
We will present 3 key strengths of using Kotter's 8-step change model in guiding our organizational transformation. First, it offers a structured and clear framework. The step-by-step nature of the model breaks down complex change into manageable actions, helping leaders and teams to move forward with clarity. It also minimizes confusion and resistance because everyone understands their role at each stage. Second, the model strongly emphasizes the people and communication aspect. By focusing on building coalitions, empowering individuals, and promoting open dialogue, the model helps to foster trust and alignment throughout the organization. When people feel involved and heard, their commitment to change increases. Third, ensures the sustainability of change. The final steps in Kotter's model consolidating gains and anchoring new behaviors, ensuring that the transformation is not just temporary. These changes become embedded into the organization's culture, making long-term success more achievable. In summary, Kotter's Kotter's model gives us both a roadmap and the tools to lead transformational change in a way that is practical, inclusive, and enduring. In this slide, we explore the first 4 steps of Kotter's 8-step change model as applied in the organization's energy transition strategy. Step 1. Establishing a sense of urgency. We begin by creating a strong case for why change is necessary. This includes recognizing global shifts such as declining fossil fuel demands, stranded asset risks, and growing pressure from investors and climate commitments. These realities are shared across the organization to create awareness and inspire immediate action. Step 2. Forming a powerful guiding coalition. A successful transformation needs strong leadership beyond just top executives. That's why the organization builds a cross-functional change leadership council comprises of credible individuals from different levels and departments to champion and drive the change together. Step 3. Creating a vision for change. The next step is crafting a clear and inspiring vision that aligns everyone's efforts. In this case, the organization aims to shift toward renewable energy and sustainability through hydrogen, digital solutions, and carbon neutrality. This vision is then embedded in the overall strategy and operational planning. Step 4. Communicating the vision. Finally, we ensure the message reaches everyone. A consistent, multi-channel communication strategy is applied, from town halls and newsletters to apps and digital platforms. Feedback is actively sought to maintain engagement and improve clarity. These early steps lay the foundation for commitment, clarity, and collaboration, setting the stage for a successful transformation. Continuing with Kotter's model, this slide highlights the final 4 steps that drive execution, momentum, and sustainability in our change management approach. Step 5. Empower broad-based action. At this stage, the focus is on removing barriers to progress and encouraging innovation. The organization introduced digital tools to support decarbonization tech pilots, initiates the Green Talent Accelerator to upskill the workforce, integrates ESG into procurement, and decentralized project funding to promote grassroots engagement. Step 6. Generate short-term wins. To maintain momentum, visible early achievements are necessary. Among the key milestones are the commissioning of solar installations, expansions of EV charging points via Gentari, and completion of a comprehensive carbon audit. Certification like ISO 14001 also build credibility and validate progress. Step 7. Consolidate gains and produce more change. With clearly wins secured, the strategy scales. ESG goals are broadened to include joint venture and global subsidiaries. Green KPIs are embedded across all planning layers, and collaboration with startups and tech players intensifies. These moves are documented transparently in sustainability reports and financial disclosure. Step 8. Anchor new approaches in the culture. To ensure the transformation lasts, sustainability must be embedded into the organization DNA. This involves tying ESG performance to executive appraisals, celebrating change through events like Sustainability Week, and renewing the company's core values. An internal green culture index tracks cultural integration over time. Collectively, these steps ensure that the change is not only implemented but also sustained, transforming both strategy and culture for long-term success.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Dahmi Madani. Now I will present about the implementation strategy for the Petro Energy. Okay, basically this is what we customize to the implementation of strategies in change management for Petro Energy. This strategy proposes to offer some practical steps, resources plan, deadline, and KPI that fit to the Petro Energy objective and best practice in energy transitions. The foundation of the implementation is based on its change vision and leadership alignment in the Petro Energy. For the change vision, Petro Energy target net zero carbon emission by 2050 with interim objective of limiting scope 1 to 2 emission to 49.5 million ton carbon dioxide equivalent in Malaysia by 2026 and attaining a 25% reduction by 2030 compared to 2019 levels. For sponsor and green governance, Petro Energy will forming a green board committee that integrates with enterprise risk management framework. The framework is to oversee and manage ESG related risks in accordance by green governance best practice that observed in prominent oil and gas companies. Second, Petro Energy will establish a cross-functional green implementation unit across all business sectors. In the implementation roadmap and timeline, we have 4 phases, which is for the phase 1 is establish and engage in 2025. It will implementing baseline sustainability audits throughout its operation. The audit is to ensure GHG emissions, flaring, methane leaks, energy consumption, and production waste. Also to the water usage. It will involve workers through interactive workshop which align to the sustainability goal, while allow workers to offer ideas and cultivate a collective sense of ownership. To integrate this vision into daily operation, the company is launching a training initiative and establishing reward system linked with its performance management framework that's supported by structured talent development. For the phase 2 is rapid oriented decarbonization between 2025 to 2028. First is zero routine flaring and venting to eradicate routine flaring in all new upstream oil field development and operational control. Petro Energy will enhance its flare gas recovery system, increasing the compressor capacity and transforming the outdated venting system into recovered gas operation. Second is energy efficiency and electrification. It will implement energy management system in accordance with ISO 50001. It will deploy at critical location and enforce uniform energy policies. Concurrently, Petro Energy electrifying the significant asset such as at Petro Energy LNG complex in Bintulu, Sarawak, by transmitting about 40% of its power supply from on-site gas turbine to grid source hydropower through the Sarawak network. For methane reduction, Petro Energy established measurement, reporting and verification, which is MRV system, in accordance with methane guiding principles. It is for enhancing report quality. The company utilized satellites and drones to do aerial survey to identify issues that related with venting equipment and compressor leaks. And the last is talent and innovation. Petro Energy will initiate the Petro Energy Transition Academy to provide training program in critical energy transition such as carbon management, hydrogen, renewable energy efficiency, and some economic practice. Petro Energy also will organize some event. One of them is Race to Decarbonize Hackathon that collab with another companies. For the phase 3 is scale clean technology and new businesses between 2028 until 2035. First is about the CCS development. First is about the CCS deployment. It will enhancing the CCS, which is carbon capture and storage, and become CCS hub in future. In August 2024, the company joined study and development with ADNOC to investigate the utilization of saline aquifers for enhancing carbon dioxide. Second is biorefinery and SAF production. Petro Energy will collab with Enilib that build the biorefinery complex. The complex will manufacture sustainable aviation fuel, SAF, and hydrotreated vegetable oil, HVO. The process is from convert. The process includes the conversion of feedstock into the clean fuel. Third is renewable and hydrogen expansion. It will develop renewable energy capacity, predominantly solar, alongside wind and battery storage by 2030. Petro Energy also aiming 10% of the Asian market share, boosted by over 190 operational charging stations and more than 250 EV cars as of 2026. And the last phase is phase 4, which is consolidate and integrate for the net zero between 2035 until 2050. Petro Energy will develop its comprehensive carbon capture storage, which is CCS, value chain to facilitate its goal of becoming a regional CCS hub in Asia. It will aspire for an 82% security rate in hazardous waste, intend to decrease freshwater withdrawal by 40% and strive for net positive biodiversity outcome for new projects while ensuring no net loss at current site by 2050. This is our resources allocation and governance, which include 3 phases. For the capex allocation, at the phase 1 is 20% of capital expenditure allocated to low carbon and decarbonization. At the second phase, will increase to 30% for CCS, biorefinery, and renewable energy. At the last phase, will allocate to 40% to clean storage and hydrogen fuel cells. For the people and training, at the first phase, we'll educate 30% of the employee on energy transition, energy, and decarbonization. At the second phase, we'll hire professionals in CCS, hydrogen, and biofuels. Also, ongoing professional development. For the third phase, we'll proficiency in ecological restoration, circular economy, and chemical innovation. Related to the partnership and ecosystems, at the first phase, we'll engage with technology providers, academic institutions, and supply chain entities. At the second phase is joint venture on CCS capacity development and becoming a player in sustainable aviation fuels. The last phase is CCS as transnational service center and circular economy partnership. For the digital and data infrastructure, at the first phase, we'll do the energy and management system, Internet of Things, sensor and dashboard, and also enterprise data. For the second phase is implement predictive analytics, RTO, APC at the compact location, and centralized emission monitoring. At the last phase is comprehensive analytics for asset integrity, ESG reporting, and biodiversity assessment. This is our KPI for the Petro Energy, which include 9 objectives, which is emission cap, methane emission, flaring avoidance, renewable and electrification, CCS capacity, SAF or biofuel production, security and biodiversity, talent and stakeholder engagement, innovation and digitalization.
Thank you. To conclude, Petro Energy is making a great stride in its transition to a more sustainable energy model. The company is aiming for the net zero carbon emission by 2015, which is not only an environmental goal but a strategic move. Despite challenges like high investment, internal resistance, Petro Energy is on the right track, investing in renewable energy and innovative technology to lead the energy sector. Here are a few recommendations for Petro Energy to continue its successful transition. First, Make sustainability a key focus in all departments to align the entire company with the green goals. Second, invest more in renewable energy technologies like solar, wind, and hydrogen to stay ahead in the industry. Third, upskill employee in the green energy technologies and ESG practice to support the transition. Fourth, strengthen partnership with government, investor, and local communities for better support and collaboration. Last and but not least, set and achieve smaller goals like renewable energy installation or carbon capture project to build a momentum. By following these steps, Petro Energy can successfully transition to a sustainable energy future. Thank you.
Petro Energy, powering green energy for a better future.